Oh, shoot. I forgot to change. It's Friday. Voices from the Edge. Welcome to our roundtable. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, but still
Happy
it's been a
Friday.
tough week. There we go. Yeah, so the theme for today, and welcome everybody who's joining us on the chat. We love to have these conversations with you, so we thank you for being here with us. We're going to continue the conversation from Wednesday. There was a new video out, and I'm sure everybody has seen it, but I want to talk about it because the question that I'm posing today to everybody is this the tipping point? Have we reached a tipping point? And so if we can kind of keep that in the back of our minds as we're going through our episodes today. So yeah, it's still disturbing. And I have a few things to say about this video when I show it. And again, it's heartbreaking, as we talked about on Wednesday, but I think more and more of this information that comes out is more proof about the lies that are being told about this incident and all the other incidents that are happening with ICE across the country. So let's watch this and then we'll come back and talk.
And to me, this body cam footage confirms that that's exactly what happened. Interestingly, it was leaked to Alpha News, which I'm not familiar with, which appears to be a right-wing site, which just shows you how far gone the MAGA media is on all this. That they think what I'm about to show you in some way exonerates this guy. Boy, it's the exact opposite to me. So it's a 47-second video. Fair warning, just because we know what happens to her, it is traumatizing to see it this close up. There's no blood or, you don't see anything graphic, but I did want to warn people. I'm going to go through it very slowly because this body cam footage, I think, gives us the best perspective on like what it felt like to be in that moment, in that scenario. I have from the start been of the view that like these frame by frame analysis of this is stupid because these guys had no business being in this neighborhood. They had no business pulling weapons or wearing masks or going after protesters who are exercising their First Amendment rights. Like just the whole like which way she turned her wheel or whatever was like never really that important to me because this in a free country, a citizen of the state should not fear that agents are going to go surround her car when she's not breaking any laws and then shoot and kill her when she tries to leave. So that's my perspective on this, but I think that because there's a lot of discussion on this, because the vice president's obsessed with this, vice president has tweeted this exact video, as a matter of fact, I think it's important to go through it second by second because it reveals the most clearly to me that this was an intentional killing and that the perpetrator should be prosecuted. So let's do it. We start here just to kind of get your bearings. We're about 30 seconds before the ICE agent fires his weapon. He's walking around the vehicle with Renee Good in the driver's seat and her dog in the back seat. So let's watch a little bit.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
All right, so you can see there the ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, the one that kills Renee Good. Jonathan Ross gets out of the car. He sees the dog in the back seat of the Honda Pilot there. And then he walks around the front of the car. At which point, with her window down, Renee says to him, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." Very calmly, she smiles. Let's actually play that one more time.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
I think that's very important. 20 seconds after this, she's dead.
It's terrible.
Looks at him, very calmly, window down, dog in the back of the car. That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. So that does not seem like a menacing person at that point. This does not seem like, it's not like he comes around the car and it's somebody with a bunch of tattoos on his face, on their face, and they see a weapon, you know, in the driver's seat. You know, it's not somebody that's like raging, yelling at him, "Fuck you, ICE agent, I want to take you out." Like none of that. Calmly, she smiles. "That's fine, dude." She says specifically, "I'm not mad at you." 20 seconds later, he kills her.
Show your face. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car.
Okay, so after Good tells Ross that she's not mad at him, he walks around the back of the car. He encounters someone else who's there with her. And she's a little bit more aggressive, tells him that she's a U.S. citizen. There's somebody shouting that they should take off their mask. And he comes back around towards his car, back towards the front of the vehicle, at which point she's saying, "Hey, big boy, go get some lunch," teasing him a little bit. She's obviously taping him. He's obviously taping her back. So like that's what happens the next 18 seconds. So he encounters Renee Good. She very calmly says she's not mad at him, indicates she wants to get out of there. He sees the dog. He sees the other person. There are other protesters that are shouting. There's some sirens. And he gets teased a little bit. Who knows whether that affects his psyche, but he does get teased. He gets called big boy by someone else, not the person he murders, but by someone else. And now the next 10 seconds is where tragedy ensues.
Get out of the car. Whoa! Fucking bitch.
So you hear in the distance the other officers approaching Renee Good, and they are shouting. The one guy that I can hear, they're shouting, "Get out of the car, get out of the car." Ross comes to join them. He walks in front of the car. Okay, he was off to the side. He walks right in front of the car, and you can see clearly on his body cam footage that he can see the driver. Now, I want to pull up this one frame. He can see two things clearly. Number one, Ross is in front of the car, and he can see Renee Good turning the wheel. Okay? She's turning the wheel, not towards him, right? He's right in front of the car. If she wanted to ram him over, she would have just pressed on the gas, and she could have rammed him over right there. Okay? But she wasn't doing that. She was turning the wheel to turn away from him. He can see that. It's right there. We can just see it. It's point blank. The windshield isn't dirty or doesn't have sleet on it. Like, he can see very clearly Renee Good, right before she dies, turning the wheel away from him while he's standing right in front of her. He can also see that this other woman is trying to get in the car, right? So again, like, it's not a situation where it's like, oh, these are agitators. They're both in the car and they are revving their engines and trying to come after him. No, it's like the passenger is trying to get in the car. The dog is in the back seat. The car is stopped. She's turning the wheel. He can see that clearly right before he shoots her. So let's watch the last few seconds.
Get out of the car. Whoa! Fucking bitch.
In the last few seconds, you see his body cam get jarred. You hear the 3 gunshots. And you see the car pull away. And then what do you hear?
Fucking bitch.
Fucking bitch. That's what Jonathan Ross, or one of the other ICE agents, says about Renee Good after they execute her in the head. They shoot her 3 times and kill her with her dog in the back seat, with her kids' toys in the passenger seat. They shoot her 3 times in the head and then say, "Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch." You're telling me that's not a murder? We walked off after the car and let her bleed out. You're telling me this guy was scared for his life, by the way? I want to play this one more time. I I'm going to play it at full speed, at real life speed, not slow-mo, not frame by frame, real life speed. I want to play this one more time, starting from the moment where he starts walking in front of the car to when he sees her turn the wheel to when he shoots her and murders her. Let's watch it one more time.
Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Whoa! Fucking bitch.
Are you fucking kidding me, you wusses? Oh.
Yeah. Hard to watch.
I think it's interesting that the JD Vance or anyone thinks that this absolves the officer or makes the officer look good. Like, especially at the end where he calls her a fucking bitch. Like, can you say any louder that you lost control of your emotions? You shot that woman out of anger. You shot that woman out of ego for no reason. She says, I'm not mad at you. She basically like put her hands up and was like, I'm not a threat. You're threatened by her partner who calls you big boy. That's something that causes you to kill someone. Is this the fucking Wild Wild West? Like, you can't control your temper? You don't belong in any kind of law enforcement organization. What a fucking wimp.
I got a couple things. First of all, Tim kept calling it body cam. It wasn't body cam. He was holding his cell phone. He was holding a phone in one hand and a gun in the other. Okay. Every other video that we've shown, he slammed his hand down on the car. The car did not hit him. He hit the car. Why they thought that this video would somehow exonerate him is beyond me, unless they are drinking their own Orwellian Kool-Aid that they're trying to feed the rest of us. And number two, this guy was 6 months removed from another incident where he apparently got dragged by a car. So why was he out there, first and foremost, if that's obviously a trigger for him? And what is the thought process that he keeps jumping in front of cars?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
He put himself in danger. She never put him in danger. He put himself in danger because of where he was. And I've done the research on this. First and foremost, and I think Jolly said this on Don's show earlier, as far as them being able to pursue someone who's fleeing with the car, unless they have some other weapon that is jeopardizing the police officer's life, and they're not even police officers. First of all, they don't even have the authority to be approaching American citizens. They're not traffic cops. They don't have that authority. But she had no secondary weapon that was putting him in danger, endangering him. So he didn't have the right, no matter how you want to put it, to shoot her. This was murder, state-sanctioned murder.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Let's cut the crap. Trump gave him the authority to shoot her. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. Why are we sugarcoating this? He gave all of them the authority to shoot any one of us if we get out of line.
It's a scare tactic. They want us to be scared.
Exactly.
They want us to back down because they know they're not going to be able to stop the midterms. So what they're hoping is that we're all intimidated enough that we won't want to go to any polling places for fear of encountering these people. I got something for them. This kind of thing doesn't scare me. It emboldens me. It enrages me. It makes me want to start turning tables over in the temple, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point about holding the gun in one hand and a cell phone in the other, if you've ever taken any kind of gun safety class, the first thing they tell you is that you cannot shoot unless you have your both hands on the weapon.
Exactly.
Both hands on the weapon. That's a basic.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't even do that right.
No.
Mm-hmm.
These people are clearly untrained. They have no business doing any kind of law enforcement activity. They had no business approaching her car. She was trying to wave them on. They chose to get out of the car and antagonize her. Number one, they were the aggressors, in my opinion, from what I see. Were they annoying? Were these protesters annoying them? Of course they were. We're out there. And it's their First Amendment right to be out there. And they had no business doing what they were doing. Not the girls, the ICE thugs. So is this the tipping point? Is this a tipping point?
I
Tipping
feel
point
like
to what?
it's an inflection point, sort of like George Floyd was to the Black Lives Matter movement. I think this is an inflection point where you see a white woman, the demographic that should not be in danger, got killed, was murdered. And so I do believe that this is an inflection point. Will it spark some sort of a new movement? I don't know. But I do believe that it's an inflection point.
Let's listen to a little bit of this and continue with that question.
Well, being part of the network doesn't justify being shot, but ramming an ICE officer with your car, that's what justifies being shot. It's not a good thing, by the way, but when you force somebody to engage in self-defense, it's almost a preposterous question. I'm not saying that funding some of this stuff justifies capital punishment. Nobody would suggest that. The reason this woman is dead is because she tried to ram somebody with her car and that guy acted in self-defense. That is why she lost her life. And that is the tragedy. Now, there may be other violations of the law and other penalties that are associated with those violations of the law. For example, if you are funding violence against our law enforcement officers, I'm not a prosecutor. My guess is that's not the sort of thing that earns capital punishment, but it should sure as hell earn you a few years in prison if you're funding the effort to try to assault our law enforcement officers. What is, I'm sorry, guys, what's going on here? You guys are meant to report the truth. How have you let yourself become agents of propaganda of a radical fringe that's making it harder for us to enforce our law?
This man is infuriating beyond measure.
What bullshit?
Beyond measure. Complete bullshit. So this is my take on the tipping point. This is my take on the tipping point. The tipping point for me here is people are not stupid. They saw this with their own eyes and they're watching the lies after lies after lies after lies. To me, keep telling the lies, because people are finally, I think, seeing through it. And that's where I'm going with the tipping point. And it wasn't just him. It was Kristi Noem. It was Trump. It was everybody who's spinning this. And people and there are going to be people who believe their version of this. I've responded to a few online. It's like, clearly we're not watching the same video.
Well, then they brought up the fact of her being a lesbian. And it's like, what does that have to do with anything? I don't care. That's no reason to shoot her or anything, to even bring it up.
I put Jazzy's question up and I would like to address that question. So Jazzy, that's a great question, like Keisha indicated. Why are they using their phones? The reason why they're using their phone is because they go back and they use it when they're having a beer and stuff. Look what I did to this woman. Look what I was able to do. It's bragging rights, because no real officer would ever film, even though they had body cams, whether they had body cams or not. They were not filming actions like that. The only time they were filming actions like that is when they were doing the dirt to other Black people.
And it's not just, you're absolutely right. And it's also Kristi Noem and that whole group have been out there filming stuff because this is performative. And people are dying. And so they're trying to capture this on film for their propaganda shows and, whatever they're doing. Again, the fear, trying to instill fear, trying to show how tough they are, trying to, put the fear of God into people. And they're all doing that.
It also makes a point out that J.D. Vance is the same man who compared Donald Trump to Hitler before he signed on as the VP candidate. So this man has no integrity. He has shown that he is willing to lie and willing to bend himself, twist himself into pretzels to get what he wants. So I see no reason why we should believe what he's saying at any point in time.
His own church has called him a stain on their faith.
Wow.
His own church that he claims has called him a stain on their faith.
Yeah. Let's continue with other things that were happening at this particular time.
There's still the orange of the pepper spray on your jacket, Michelle, and your hair, and your face. Just Skip and Michelle, what happened to you just now?
We came down here to peacefully protest because you can't be silent anymore. We were standing over to the side on the grass and gravel when a truck with flashing lights came through. So we stepped back even more when the law enforcement came out. And so we were far away from the driveway. And when they came out, two of them just started shoving any of us that were standing there away from,
indiscriminately,
and then
just pushing into the crowd.
And then started shooting pepper spray. They got the woman next to me really bad. I did not get it as bad. It's stinging on the side, but they really got her.
But they pushed you down. I had to step in the way between her and the guard. Say, she's 70 years old. Come on, she doesn't need to be pushed to the ground. Stop. And then he backed off, knew how old we both were. But I mean, aggressively, randomly, just dispersing in the crowd, firing, pushing people down.
Yeah.
We weren't part of the melee. We were off the side, and we were involved in stopping the car in any kind of way. They just were randomly pushing people down. And it wasn't until I explained her age, stop. She's, an older woman, stop, and that they stopped and backed off. But I mean, without thinking, they aggressively pushed their way into the crowd. And, there's no reason. They did back off when I said stop, and they backed off, said, okay, fine, and went somewhere else. But they didn't think. They didn't stop to think for a moment of pushing people to the ground and shooting that pepper spray. That one girl got hit pretty bad.
People that weren't in the way. We were like a good 10 feet back or more from the driveway.
Right. And she just got sprayed in the side of the face, and she feels it stinging now.
Yeah.
She says, I want to go home and wash this off. It stings. And fortunately, I have my glasses on, so it went in my eye, but didn't get in my eye. But, it's stinging already. I don't know about the people that actually got hit in the face.
Really got
but it had to really hurt.
Shape.
And there was no need for any of that.
She left.
The crowd wasn't at a stage where they needed to be pepper sprayed and aggressively put down like that. It was just so unnecessary.
There is still
this is what's happening to protesters out there. I'm sorry, they're out of fucking control. They are out of control.
We are. And then they went to the high school, Kim.
Yes.
And they went after under the pretext that they were chasing somebody in a car, and then they started going after high schoolers who were getting out of school yesterday, and the teachers are screaming, no, no, no. And they're trying to round the kids up to get them back in because they're pepper spraying the kids. It's like, what the fuck? These are kids. Leave them alone. Go about your business. Leave these kids alone.
And 2 other people were shot in Portland.
In Portland, yes. Yesterday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is escalating.
They also detained at least 2 high schoolers in Minneapolis, one who worked at Target and said he had his passport in his pocket, and they wouldn't let him take out his passport to show that he's a citizen. and it's horrible. There's like 6 ICE agents laying on top of him, and he's screaming. And his coworkers are like, "Who can we call for you?" He's like, "Please call my mom." A high schooler, a 17-year-old who says, "I'm an American citizen. I literally can prove to you I'm an American citizen." They don't give a shit. All they cared about was the fact that he looked Latino.
Right. Right. And who's gonna I don't know, who's gonna intervene and rein them in? You know?
This is the one time that I wish I had a political seat of power, because as a governor of a state, what you do is you send your National Guard out and you arrest every one of those motherfuckers.
I agree.
Dare anybody to do anything about it.
Yep.
I agree.
It's time. It's time for the rubber to meet the road. It is time for people to stop playing polite politics and act like we're in the war that we're in.
Even though it would be bloodshed, because those bastards will try to shoot the National Guard, and the National Guards are not going to sit there and not shoot back. So I hear you. You are absolutely
Maybe one
correct.
or two of them
We
are
need to
dropped,
line
though.
them up.
They'll think twice about what they're doing. If one or two of them are dropped, maybe they'll start to think twice about what they're doing. I'll leave that there.
No.
And the thing is, it's the people that they're hiring to put a gun in their hands and to put them in these positions have no business being there. It's ugly. It's ugly. So let's listen to another clip. Oops, what happened? There it is.
Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance destroy the goodness in all of us. And this is a moment, ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment where it's a gut check and people are going to have to stiffen their spines and say, no more of this. We are not going to have a secret police in this country. We are not going to go down that road, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. We are not going, you can just get that right out of your minds right now. We are not going to become this country. And when, people go off on Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, for saying we need to remain calm and we're going to send out our National Guard and so on, you need to understand that at some point the American people are going to say enough is enough. They're going to take to the streets. They're going to speak out. They're going to say no more. This far and no farther, I should say. And that is who we are. That is what is good about this country. That is what makes America America. This ability to go out there and speak your mind, observe what you consider to be human rights abuses by ICE. That is what Renee Good was doing. She was out there being an American until Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and ICE crushed it and crushed her. And we can't let that happen to the rest of us. We can't let Stephen Miller and Jay.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. He's right. He's right. This has gone far enough. Far. I was going to play the Kristi Noem theme, but I can't stand to listen to her, so I'm not going to. Just more lies. Just more lies, spewing, more lies, more propaganda, gaslighting. It's disgusting.
A different hat, a different outfit every day.
Yeah, Botox Barbie. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the reason why J.D. Vance is able to advance this rhetoric is because he speaks very calmly. He's very convincing to those that don't know better. And I think we need to take a page from that and understand that people that he's a chameleon. He can shapeshift. He can put on whatever face he wants to put on. But I'm going to tell you, people, do not be fooled by his rhetoric. Do not be fooled by it, because he wants power and more power. That's what it's all about for him. He wants what Trump currently has, but a whole lot more. Stay awake, folks.
Yeah, it's those quiet, calm ones that are most deadly.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And his biggest backer is Peter Thiel.
Right.
So
that's scary. So we talked a little bit about 2 people were shot again by ICE agents, this time in Portland. Mayor has called for ICE to back off in Portland now. Shot 2 people outside of a hospital the day after they shot the woman in Minneapolis. So the statement on Thursday, 2 people were in hospital after shooting involving federal agents, adding their condition was not known. Police sources told the Oregonian one of the people was shot in the leg and the other in the chest. The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement that U.S. Border Patrol agents had stopped a vehicle to search for a man they suspected of being an undocumented immigrant connected. It's always connected to a Venezuelan gang. The agents said that they fired when the driver of the vehicle tried to run over them. Interesting. They just kind of have the same story, right? We don't have any, couldn't find any more details on this one. Maybe we'll hear more, but it just seems fishy that it's the same story. I don't know. What do you think?
it's the only excuse that they have at this point, is to say that people are now weaponizing their vehicles. And that's why they get up there and they say, oh, these people are being trained to weaponize their vehicles. They're being trained for this, because that's going to be the excuse from here on out. We feared for our lives because of the vehicles.
Yeah. Let's look at one more, and then we're going to move on to our other segments because we have a few more to get to today. And this is just what's happening in Minnesota. People are protesting. People are out.
In freezing rain, hundreds marched through Minneapolis criticizing the surge in ICE agents.
People are still waking up and kind of like responding to the horror of what happened yesterday.
The Twin Cities, a powder keg, as anger has boiled over in response to the shooting death of 37-year-old Renee Good at the hands of an ICE agent on Wednesday.
It feels very, very difficult that we will get a fair outcome.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz raised concerns Thursday as the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says they were informed by the FBI that state prosecutors would no longer have access to the investigation, which started as a joint probe. Vice President J.D. Vance.
I don't want to hear him again. So that's interesting. We are the transparent administration. We are the most transparent. Absolutely. We're going to investigate this, but we don't want the state involved, which, that screams cover up to me. Right?
Of course, it's a cover up, but fortunately, there's no statute of limitations on murder.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we've said this, we've all agreed. When this is over and this administration is gone and the Democrats take back over, there's going to be some justice happening, I hope.
And here's the other thing. I won't even humor backing a candidate that will not commit to restoring the White House. That means knocking all that bullshit down that he's done and remaking it in its original image and making sure that every single one of these people are held to account. I won't even consider casting a vote for you unless you commit to that.
Hear, hear. Take all those photographs down and plaques from that
All of it.
Hall of lies that he put up.
Erase him from history like he's trying to erase everybody else.
Yeah, and take his name off the Kennedy Center and anywhere else he might have put it.
Yes.
So this administration, we know, is their king of propaganda, king of performative, king of lies, king, all of it. And what's really, really sad, we've seen what's happened to the White House. And that continues to be ongoing. But what they're doing as well to our official sites, whitehouse.org. If you have not seen this, you need to go take a look at it, because this is the propaganda bullshit that they put up here about January 6th. And what they're doing is blaming Pelosi. They're, attacking everyone who was on the committee. And they're claiming that Nancy has taken responsibility for it. Bunch of bullshit timelines here. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to give it any airtime. And we're going to tie this into Roseanne's next segment. But we already know that they pardoned all the J6ers. And Roseanne, what do they want to do now?
So
they want to pay him?
Yeah, that's what the J6ers are asking for. They're, I'm kind of an old-fashioned girl. I love having newsprint, and I like reading my newspaper. And yesterday morning in my local newspaper, I came across this article regarding the pardoned J6 rioters who gathered on Tuesday to retrace their steps from that fateful day. And this, as we all know, this was the first time that they had done that, because, of course, the Democrats were in power. And so the whole purpose was for them to retrace the steps, vowing to keep fighting for payback, even against the Trump administration. It appears they've been emboldened now by our president, who pardoned and commuted the sentences of nearly 1,600 people. And during Tuesday's march, they did praise Trump for setting them free, but they were also critical of his administration for not doing more for them. And when they say more, Enrique Tarrio, who is the leader of the Proud Boys, he said, retribution is what we seek. Without accountability, there is no justice. Another gentleman, Barry, I'm not even going to call him a gentleman, a thug, Barry Ramsey, who was convicted of assaulting a police officer during that riot, stated that he was still loyal to Trump, but his loyalty doesn't extend to his administration. He went on to say that, Bondi and Patel, quote, could be doing a better job. Now, to me, that's like talking out of both sides of your mouth, but whatever. They also had a range of demands, including financial restitution and prison reform. There were supposed to be members of the administration at this little march or vigil, but no one showed up for it. Not even Steve Bannon, who apparently was on the masthead for it. The rally was advertised as a memorial for Ashley Babbitt, who was shot as she tried to enter the House chamber, and any other protesters who died. They laid flowers around the Capitol in her honor. But the event was more boisterous and defiant than a vigil, as reunited participants cheered their pardons and then jeered at the officers who had been tasked to protect the route. Some of them even encircled a group of the officers, saying shame and calling them murderous thugs and subhuman scum. But some of the organizers quietly thanked the police officers for keeping counter-protesters at bay. Several of the participants in this anniversary march said that they wanted to see the officers they blamed for the death of rioters be brought to justice. Others stated that they are looking to the government for financial restitution, citing how the months or years that they spent in prison had upended their lives. One interviewee stated, "He was building from nothing now. I personally feel like we should get something back to fix what they've taken from us." You know, in my humble opinion, they need to be grateful that they were pardoned and their sentences commuted. If there was any other time or any other administration, these individuals would still be in jail. And let's recap what happened that day. They broke into a federal building, breaking windows. They attacked officers. They created chaos. They were stealing computer equipment, Pelosi's laptop. They were scaring the heck out of everyone who was in the building that day, who were hiding under their desks, trying to figure out, how do we get out? And the image still haunts me when I recall that officer who was being crushed in the revolving door and screaming for help. And let's not forget what they did to Michael Fanone. His body cam was on as they are tasing him and just beating the shit out of him. And then, to top it all off, they brought a gallows to the front of the Capitol building as they're shouting, "Hang Mike Pence." And while they were searching extensively for anyone who might be in the building, including Pence and other members of Congress, you know, the gang outside is still shouting, "Hang Mike Pence." I don't believe they should ever be paid for their crimes. They were incited by a man who was unhappy with the election results and then sent a mob of people to do his dirty work. Shame on them, and shame on anybody who still supports what happened that day. So that's,
and a lot of them are now behind masks with an ICE uniform on.
absolutely they are.
And
Yeah.
shame on the Republican members of Congress.
Yes.
Who were under their desks shivering for their lives.
Yes.
Who won't even put up a plaque to commemorate what the Capitol police officers did that day.
Yeah.
Just wow. I can't.
They have to now.
Yeah,
That funding went through. They have to now.
I can't find the words for any of this.
Yeah.
For any of it. What I was going to say yesterday, if I had gotten a chance on Don's show, is that what we are witnessing is the soul of a nation dying. Mm-hmm. And what we need is to collectively, as a people, not allow for them to individually to destroy our individual souls, because that's what it's going to take to rebuild after all of this is said and done.
Yeah.
100%.
So we just want
Maureen, you're
to
muted.
ask our audience. We just want to ask our audience to please like and subscribe. And thank you for all the comments, Jazzy, and also Momo. We love the comments that are coming out. Anyone else would like to weigh in? Please feel free.
That's actually my hubby. Momo right now is my hubby. So.
All right. Well, thank you for that comment, hubby.
Thank you, hubby.
And anyone else that would like to weigh in, we open the floor for it. Back over to you.
The first thing that comes to mind for me is Black people who were enslaved and who are the descendants of the enslaved people never got reparations, but these motherfuckers want to get all kinds of things for trying to overturn the election Go fuck yourselves. This is the most entitled nonsense I've ever freaking heard.
Keisha, they got paid. They got reparations. They got $300.
This is
back
white
then when the black people didn't get any money. Wait a minute. When the black people did not get reparations, they received $300. Go back and check your history. Lincoln and them gave them $300.
Yeah, the slave owners got reparation for the property that they lost.
Yeah.
Crazy. Thank you, Roseanne. It's a great reminder, but going back to what they're doing again is trying to lie, trying to rewrite history, trying to spin it. Putting it up on a government website does not make it true. This is the most frustrating part about it. The White House is the people's house. These are our websites, not theirs. Belongs to the people. Everything belongs to the people. I agree, Jazzy. What the fuck? All right. So let's shift gears a little bit. It's a great segue into this, Maureen, for you, the state of hate.
Yep, that's what we
I'm
are.
going to, what is it? For presenting, remove the media. I don't have any media on the stage. Oh, August, do you have media on the stage? Let me see. No?
Yes. Yes, I do have media on the stage.
Okay. Please. Yeah, you got to remove it before I can put this back up on the stage.
All right. Go ahead.
That's weird. It's not letting me still. We'll go this up. That'll go. Yeah, this is not letting this up. Well, Maureen, go ahead and we can share the link to this in the description.
Okay.
So let me remove this. Yeah, it's not letting me add it for some reason. I don't know. Go ahead. I'll keep working on it.
I will say this more than one time. I can't stand hate. And I know all of you ladies can't stand it also. Pure hate in this country right now with our administration. We all know how important it's to teach our children not to hate. And I'm happy to say I had parents and grandparents who taught me that. I never knew hate in my home. And I can't believe what I'm seeing today, but I have to believe it. It's happening and it has to stop. And I'm going to give you a video right now. Take a look at this. It's from the state of California, and it's the Commission on the State of Hate. And they have set up this commission to identify people that are causing, as we say, hate, and prejudice. And this is from a group of people, Native Americans, indigenous people who are doing this. I think this happened in November, talking about how they can help people in their communities and fight against this. So go ahead, and I think we'll show a couple of minutes of this. And then I want to give a poem that really touched me in the last couple of days. But let's go with this. Okay. I was quite impressed.
Yeah, this video, we'll put a link in. It's like 2 hours, 40 minutes. We're just going to show a couple minutes of it. But
should start appearing at the bottom of the Zoom window. To access the interpreter channel, click on the interpretation icon at the bottom of your screen. It looks like a globe. Our chair of our Commission on the State of Hate, Chair Brian Levin, he will be helping me conduct public comment. And I'd like to also acknowledge our commissioners who are online at this time too. So thank you for being here with us today. There will be opportunities for public comments throughout the meeting today. To keep an orderly meeting, please make sure to comment only on the agenda item under consideration. If you have comments that are not specifically related to an agenda item, please save your comment for the agenda item titled Public Comment on Items Not on the Agenda. As you consider your comments today, we want to encourage you to keep a few things in mind. Everyone is encouraged to participate. The foundation of our work is community input, and we want to encourage you to speak up and have your voice heard. Appreciate the diversity of perspectives. This forum was designed to support learning together and the creation of shared understanding. Everyone brings kernels of wisdom based on their own unique history and experiences. We can't know or understand what someone else thinks unless we listen to them. Therefore, when someone says something that challenges your thinking, we encourage you to listen to them to understand why they think as they do. Maintain a respectful space. Everyone is deserving of respect. That means I encourage everyone to treat each other with kindness and respect today, even if we might disagree. Before we begin the presentations, we want to remind you that if you are a victim or witness to hate, racism, or bullying, you can report and receive free support through the California versus Hate Resource Line and Network. Trained agents on the hotline will help you identify next steps and help connect you to resources including legal, financial, mental health, and mediation services. Anyone can report anonymously, and your report will not be shared with law enforcement without your consent unless required by law. Report hate by calling 833-8-NO-HATE or visiting californiaversushate.org. We'll put the link to California versus Hate in the chat. We also want to remind you about the free services available for communities through the California Civil Rights Department's Community Conflict Resolution Unit. If your community is experiencing heightened fear, conflict, or tensions because of discriminatory practices, hate incidents, or hate crimes, the Community Conflict Resolution Unit may be able to assist. CREW offers a range of conflict resolution services to help communities effectively address hate and discrimination-based community conflict. All CREW services are free, voluntary, and confidential. CREW services can be requested by completing the request for service form online and emailing the form to ccru@calcivilrights.ca.gov. We will put the contact information for CREW in the chat.
Let's stop. Is that kind of a good intro to what they're doing here? It's a great resource, it looks like.
This committee meeting was with the indigenous tribes in California, and get their points of view and concerns, and actually investigate the complaints that they receive in those communities. I just thought it was interesting. I really never knew it existed. So I hope it's successful and they do take care of people out there, because it's happening more and more. Can I read this poem? When I was doing my job with human resources and all those wonderful nonprofits nationally that I talked to and tried to help, and the key was they always want to know, how do I treat my employees better? I know a lot of people think HR people don't do that, but I had people that were interested in talking to me, and I had the expertise, and I loved what I did, absolutely loved. Great organizations. And anyway, here's the poem. It's a little long, but I know you probably all know Maya Angelou. And I love this poem, Still I Rise, because it talks about hate. But she has the words. I mean, I felt very emotional when I read it again today. So here we go. You may write me down in history with your, let me make this bigger for me. Excuse me. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still let dust. I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like the sun, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, willing and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream, the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Anyway, it was interesting for me to read that again after what's happened this week. And God, this has all got to change. We've gone so backwards. We've gone so backwards.
Yeah. Thank you. We've got to hang in there. Hang in there. Okay, thank you for that very much. So next we're going to go to Andrea. What do you have for us today? Very interesting.
Mine is interesting to me, but what I actually think is it'll take too long today and that we should just go to August on the Move, and I can save mine for next Wednesday.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Because it's powerful. Okay. What everybody is saying.
I want to make sure you have plenty of time for it.
Rush.
So want to
and,
start with it Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Monique, are you okay? You froze, man. You froze, Christine. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just I'm almost 60 years old, so my grandmothers, even my mom, strong Black women that went through a lot. And I just feel like right now it's my turn. You know, they did what they had to do. And now I have to do what I have to do because I have a beautiful Black daughter. And I have a beautiful mixed race granddaughter and a grandson on the way. None of them look white. And so that poem just hit me. And she's always been one of my favorites. I read her books and her poetry and everything, and that just it just brought to mind a lot of the strong Black women that I come from. And like I said, now it's my turn, and it's been a really emotional time for me. And I've been feeling this dread since 2016. And people were telling me I was hysterical. So that's it. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just in my own mind, I'm paying homage to my ancestors. You know. So.
And I feel the same way too. That's what made me get involved, and that's what I'm hoping makes everyone else get involved. And we've gotten too comfortable. We're so comfortable that I've lost words. Sometimes I don't want to talk because we've gotten too comfortable watching TV and driving our fancy cars and taking for granted that you have something to eat, but everybody don't have nothing to eat even today. Even today, people don't even have medical insurance. You know, the one thing I want to mention is the Affordable Care Act was extended for.
Please, that's more, I was going to bring that up.
They still have to vote. They still have to vote on it, though.
Well, he
in the Senate. Yeah.
17 Republicans voted with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got to go to the Senate, and then
I'll let August take it over.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So let's go ahead and move on to August on the Move. What do you have for us, Miss August?
Well, the cat is out the bag, but did you know, and I'm bringing it to the stage, that what the ladies were talking about, they did expand the CARE Act in the House. However, let's watch the video so you can get an inside update. Let's roll the tape.
The yeas are 52. The nays are 47. The motion is agreed to. The joint resolution will be placed on the calendar.
In a massive rebuke against Donald Trump, the United States Senate, in a vote of 52 to 47, which you just saw there, voted to advance a war powers resolution aimed at restricting Donald Trump from taking further military action in Venezuela without explicit congressional authorization. You have Republican Senators Murkowski, Young, Paul, Collins, and Hawley joining with the Democrats in that 52 to 47 vote. The war powers resolution now advances, but Donald Trump is threatening to veto it, and he is saying that he has absolute power to launch invasions wherever he wants to in the Western Hemisphere. Now, as the Senate has essentially rebuked Donald Trump there, the Trump regime sources are telling Reuters and others that they plan to do a hostile takeover of Greenland by way of paying Greenlanders between $10,000 and $100,000 each if they support secession and they basically become traitorous and treasonous to Greenland and sell out their own country to the United States. This is unprecedented, hostile, and I would even say an act of potential war at this point to engage in this type of economic coercion against the sovereignty of a country. Here's how it's being reported by Reuters. Trump administration considers paying Greenlanders to join U.S. U.S. officials are discussing offering Greenlanders $10,000 to $100,000 each to support secession from Denmark and U.S. affiliation, to say that they're now part of the U.S. So let me just get this straight. As the Trump regime is taking away health care from tens of millions of Americans, they are trying to subsidize oil companies to the tune of $100 billion in Venezuela. They've given $40 billion plus to Argentina. The United States is saying they want to, or Trump regime is saying they want to raise their military budget to $1.5 trillion, up from $900 billion, then up from $1 trillion that Trump announced via a social media post a few weeks back. And now they want to pay the people who live in Greenland $100,000 each to bribe them to become part of the United States. What the hell is going on here? The Reuters article goes on to explain that this plan is part of a broader White House deliberation, which also includes military options for an invasion if the people of Greenland do not accept the $10,000 or $100,000 checks. As we previously reported earlier this morning, France has been making plans with Germany and Denmark and others to prepare for a possible war against the United States if the United States invades Greenland. And folks,
let's take a pause on that. So let's have you guys weigh in. Let's hear from the panel.
Somebody rein him in, please. The guy is gone bonkers. Bonkers. Please, GOP, God damn it, do something.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, it makes me think of what he said earlier to the New York Times about how the only thing that stops him from doing more is his own morality and his own brain.
One of which is shot and one of which doesn't exist.
Yeah. How is that not terrifying to people? Even people who support him. How is that not terrifying?
Do they realize how close he is to the button or whatever we call that? The red phone.
Oh, the football. The nuclear codes.
Yeah.
That's scary as hell that
I just thought the Midas touch just really summed it up for me, as opposed to me even reading it out or even trying to explain it to you guys. But let's hear what the Republicans have to say about this. Let me bring that one to the stage.
Want Stephen Miller to start?
Look, either Stephen Miller needs to get into a lane where he knows what he's talking about, or get out of his job. Look, I've been, the reason why I thought it was important for me to make a comment on the floor is I've been the Republican leader of the Senate NATO Observer Group since 2018. There is no more important alliance than the NATO alliance. And Denmark has punched above its weight. It came to Afghanistan, lost 43 soldiers on the ground, fought in some of the most contested regions, honoring their Article 5 commitment to the United States.
I think they lost more soldiers than any other country per capita.
Per capita, they did, and Jake, they were in among the NATO allies at the time. It was 30 nations. They were among the top 6, and think about the nations bigger than them. So to have the prime minister suggest they have to be prepared for some sort of action by the United States suggests to me that Mr. Miller does not know anything about the alliance, the importance of it. And, generals, I was on Senate Armed Services for 8 years, and generals would always say the same thing. The only thing worse than going to war with allies is going to war without allies. This alliance is critically important. Shaking that alliance sends a signal to Putin that he's winning, and Stephen Miller doesn't represent the U.S. government. He represents the Article 2 branch, and I, as a member of the U.S. Senate, get to weigh into this issue, and I know, whether they say it out loud or not, most of my colleagues agree with me.
All right, let's weigh in. Let me hear from the panel.
Wow, that's scary. Wow, there's got to be a way. I wish this, I don't know if it's through the Supreme Court, but I think it is through the Senate and Congress. I think that's where it has to come from.
As I indicate, we try to be fair here. We give the Republican and the Democratic side. We try to have a balanced panel here. Even though we all know it's BS, but we have to call out what the Republicans are saying. So they do not have sheets over their heads. They are seeing very clearly now that the BS is upon us.
Yeah.
Clearly.
My only question is, why did it take them so long to wake up? They knew.
Because he has stuff on him, and he still has stuff on him. But you know what? When it starts hitting home, and when they start feeling it on their blocks, in their cities, that's when the chickens start roosting.
Well,
But
you know
can't-
what? I welcome their voices, but they still don't have a spot at the barbecue. Sorry.
Oh, we already said that. Come on, they can't even show up. Not even with a beer to the barbecue.
Article 2, Section 4, we can get rid of 47 and his entire cabinet.
Yep.
The man is crazy. He's crazy, and they need to take him out in a straitjacket today.
Because honestly, believe it or not, him being in power is safer for us. If they were just to remove Trump and JD Vance were to take over,
Yes, it's just like ironing one leg of the pant, not the other one.
he's much more dangerous. I know that people like to dismiss him all the time, but he's a lot more dangerous because he has no identity of his own to speak of. He's a puppet of Peter Thiel. And if you've ever gone down the dark hole of the tech bros and the things that they think and they feel, you do not want JD Vance in charge of anything.
Alzheimer's
I don't know.
and dementia. I'm sorry, Alzheimer's and dementia. Some people get meaner with age, and that's what he's showing to me, signs of Alzheimer's and dementia.
I don't know that Vance.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I just don't know that Vance has the respect of the Republican Party in Congress or the Senate.
We need to get rid of all of them, all of his whole cabinet.
Yep. Every one of them.
Every one of them mean people.
Yeah.
They've been complicit in it, and they all need to go.
Yeah.
Well,
Agreed.
absolutely.
I just want to close out my segment on August on the Move, please. And here we go.
My principles are like my eyeliner, reapplied and rebranded every news cycle.
My Hot Mess Express lips were made for lying, and that's just what they'll do.
When I walk into a room, fake patriots salute me. Real ones think, God help us.
My advice, shoot first and fact check later, especially if it's wagging its tail.
A vaccine in the arm keeps me up at night, but a worm in the brain tucks me in.
I genuinely never know where I'm living, which makes hiding the Epstein files a breeze.
Enigmas never age, and every day is a wonderful secret, except the Epstein list. I'm on every day page.
Oh my God. Oh my God, the real
Oh, thank you, August.
Oh,
Thank
my
you, August. Thank you.
that was awesome. That was
What are you
great.
saying? Oh, ETs. Yeah, I'm waiting for the ETs to come too.
Oh my gosh, the ETs are not going to stop here. They know we crazy. They're going to go right to the next planet.
Oh God, that was funny.
Oh my God. That was
Okay,
great.
well, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop with a laugh.
Yes.
So thanks for hanging with us, everybody. I know we went a little bit over today, but it's good conversations, and we just gotta hang in there.
And Earthbag homies, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
No, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to
Who else
Jazzy
do
as
we have?
always.
As always, yes. And hubby as always.
Jay-Z.
Thank you, hubby. Thank you, hubby. All right, ladies. I always love spending my Friday with you. Now I'm gonna go walk my dog. Actually, it's dark. Well, I can at least feed her. And play and see my granddaughter. I'm gonna go play with my granddaughter.
Oh, that little beauty. Yes.
The love of my life right now. Yes. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. And you know what? Take a break maybe from all this for this weekend and do some self-care and go for long walks and hug a tree, hug your kids, grandkids,
Read a good
dogs.
book, watch a funny movie, just detach for a minute.
Yeah,
There
I
are
think Avatar
protests.
3 is out, right?
There are protests happening tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
In Roseville from 10 to 12 and on Sunday in Auburn.
Oh, in Auburn?
Yes. Yes.
Where my family is.
Yeah. So
Peace and healing to you. Back at
Yes.
you. Bye, Jazzy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. We so appreciate you so much.
Yes, we do.
So much. So
We do.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
We the people unite.